When last we left off, the party had just begun their adventures in Nordgard. They had saved the northern river wall, gone to the Lock and Key Inn, decided that they will travel together for now at least, and started exploring the city, looking for information about where they could find Tarek or Duna, a counselor for Nordgard, who might have information about a missing sword that Tia is looking for. So in your travels, you made your way up to City Hall and discovered news that Tarek was last seen in the stadium across the river because they were about to do the closing ceremonies for the Harvest Festival and have tellings of winter heroes to usher in the new cold season. And while you guys were on your way there, you saw a meteor shower, and strangely enough, all of the meteors did not burn up on their way down and impacted inside the city walls, some of them, and most of them outside the city walls to the west and east and north as far as the eye could see. And so that is where we left off. The three impact sites, there's one across the bridge on the other side of the river, which looked like it was the closest one to where you guys are now. There was also one down in the south end of town and one closer to the east end of town.
Well, I'm thinking we should go explore the one that's close. That sounds scary.
Completely agree.
I disagree. This is not a safe plan at this particular juncture. I think that we need to stay on target.
Sparky, you know what my granddad always used to say? Gods hate a coward. Get in there, boy.
Oh, it's nothing about cowardness. It's about risk.
That's what they all say.
Counterpoint, big fella. Isn't the snake that you don't see more dangerous than the one that you know where it is?
I fail to see how snakes are relevant in this argument.
If we know what the meteors are and what harms they might potentially create, then we can make good plans and better avoid the dangers rather than living in the dark and letting dangers come to us.
I think with meteors burning in town, I'd rather know what they were and make sure everything was okay and then continue our search.
Fine, but I am against this. And he takes up position kind of behind you, 2 steps behind you.
Okay, she'll glance back occasionally.
Well, I'll kind of off to your left and, just like one of your entourage.
I mean, we're all hopping in the cart or the wagon to ride across the bridge, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so everybody's jumping in. Old Knell is going to say, Sparky, ride shotgun with me. Got some questions for you, lad.
He'll eye the... What does the cart look like?
Oh, so it's a full-on covered wagon, like a like a covered Pioneer wagon.
Okay, so that's fine. The people in the back are not really being seen then. Okay, that's fine. He'll sit in the front with you.
And we will yaw the mules vigorously across the bridge towards the meteor. And as we go, Old Knell, with one eye on the road, is going to ask Sparky, so do you really have to listen to everything Tia says?
It is my second command. My first command is to protect her life above all else.
So what if she gave you an order that put the first commandment at risk, like drag her head first through the river?
The second command cannot break the first command.
I'll see. How many commandments do you follow?
That is a good question.
Am I in earshot of all this?
I mean, you're in the wagon, so while we vigorously clip-clop down the bridge, I imagine that if you were sitting behind us, you could hear us. Not trying to be sneaky about it.
I'm quite interested in hearing this.
My third commandment is to protect the timeline.
At one point, you said that you were a robot. What did you mean by that? What exactly are you? Because you look human.
I am synthetic flesh grown over metal endoskeleton. Whatever, he would have got it right.
Not sure I follow, but that sounds interesting. Do you have, like, feelings and...
He pulls out his longsword and makes a circular cut around his finger and pulls off the end of the skin
do
off the end
that!
of his finger. You can't see, you're in the back.
Okay.
Well, she definitely would hear old Knell say, "Zwoons!" Oh boy, can you put that back on, lad? That's good enough.
He puts it back on.
Do you have,
I don't
like...
think it sticks, but...
So you just have one permanent freaky skeletal finger.
No, actually, we've worked out a way that I can heal the skin.
Do you have thoughts or feelings of your own? Like dreams beyond what'll happen besides protecting Wynn and the timeline?
I have my mission and my orders.
Last question. If, for whatever reason, you decided that any of us were a threat to the timeline or to Tia, would you...
execute you.
Yeah, but would you at least give us a warning first in the hopes that we could be turned back to your side?
He's not hesitating. I'm hesitating. How would he answer this? Aha. I would warn Tia.
Well, good enough. You seem like a good enough bloke, but I'm going to keep an eye on you. Now let's go find these meteors. And that's
I
it
will
for me.
keep an eye on you. Sorry, I shouldn't have talked over you there.
Is anybody in the back chatting about anything while the wagon's making its way along?
Oh, I'm totally eavesdropping on the first conversation.
As am I.
I would definitely be listening if I can hear, and also looking out the back to see if we're being followed.
Give me an insight check.
Everyone or just him?
Just Deacon. He's the one that mentioned that he's looking for a tail.
Okay, just a sec.
Is this one of these situations where there was no tail, and then we were suspicious of a tail? So the DM goes, that's a good idea, and makes a tail.
And I want to know if it's a kitty cat tail, a puppy dog tail, what kind of tail.
So, Deacon, that's a really good roll. While you do see quite a few people coming along behind your wagon and kind of around your wagon and stuff, they all seem to be interested in the same thing that you are. They're all kind of heading this way because they want to see what happened with the meteorite that fell nearby. So it doesn't look like anybody's specifically following your wagon. It's more that there's just a bunch of people who are coming out of the residential area and heading down towards the market.
Makes sense to me.
As the wagon makes its way down the road and you come to this kind of Y junction, you can see further down the road by the lamp lights on the street that it's quite crowded down here. There appear to be a lot of people ahead of you who live in this area, and they're also coming to take a look at what happened.
Is there anybody who isn't looking surprised?
You can give me an insight roll.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, it's a really good roll. No, everybody is very curious about what's going on. The emotions that you see are range from excited curiosity to fear, but nobody looks like they were expecting this.
Gotcha. Nobody's looking around interestedly seeing what the reactions are. They're reacting to it appropriately.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Is the crowd thick enough that it's obstructing our forward progress?
Yes, I will need a land vehicles check to maneuver down this street.
Okay, I'm proficient with land vehicles. What is the ability that I'm using?
Intelligence.
Okay, that's just a straight D20 plus 2.
You guys are rolling really, really well tonight. Yeah, you don't have too much trouble navigating your way through. You're kind of talking to people that you see getting in the way and getting them to move, and everybody seems to be complying fairly easily. And nobody's in a big rush to get down the street or anything, especially as they're getting closer. They're kind of standing back and just they're a bunch of onlookers. They don't want to get directly involved with it. They're more listening to people who are closer, and whispers are coming down the road about what's going on. So as people stop walking, it gets easier for you to travel, and you make your way down the road towards the market.
What are we hearing as we get closer?
You can give me perception checks.
Oh God, I'm not rolling very well.
And there we go on our not so good, Ryan. You were worried about us rolling so high.
Yep, whole bunch of garbage. But Deacon rolled pretty well. Deacon, you're hearing that they're saying a meteorite came down from the sky and crashed through the roof of an old boarded up building. It's not something that anybody really goes into anymore. It's been vandalized and stuff, so nobody thinks anybody got hurt. But at the same time, nobody wants to go in there for fear that the building will collapse on them if they go in to investigate.
And sorry, this is the Temple of Tempest that it impacted into?
If you look at the legend for the map, it's the Temple of Tempest.
Okay.
Well, mates, it looks like no one wants to go investigate. I think they might be too scared. It looks abandoned, so I don't think anyone got hurt. Maybe we should go have a look.
Yeah, like we'll roll up to the front of the building with our wagon and tut the mules to a halt. And old Knell's going to ask if anybody has any preference on how we get inside.
Is the door open?
No.
Does there look like there's an easy way to get in? Like, I'm sort of guessing the front door is like boarded shut, so it would take some effort to open.
Is there a big hole in the side of the wall from where a meteor went in?
I'm going to bring you guys to a map.
Okay. Ooh, looking buff. Yeah, I like it. It's the only thing I can see is my token.
Sorry, I'll put in a couple of lanterns as well, because there would be a little bit of light.
Okay.
I don't know how to.
I forgot I was nearly dead.
Wish I could help.
I mean, surely we could have taken a short rest by now so that you could have used some hit dice.
Yeah, I think you guys did take a short rest in the inn.
All right. I'll look at Tia and say, is it your wish to enter?
Well, we got to find out what's going on.
I will walk up to the front door.
While you're walking up there, Sparky, old Knell is rooting around in a backpack in the cart, and he's going to pull out a crowbar and say, "Oi, biggin," and toss it to you.
Okay, he catches it, and, well, I guess I should roll athletics or something, see if I catch it or something, right? Sleight of hand? No.
Is there any real consequence of failing here?
Yeah, I could hurt my toe. No, I think. All right. The door, is it locked?
Yes.
All right, does it look strong?
It doesn't look weak, but it's not in like pristine condition or anything.
I will kick the door down, or try.
All right, give me an athletics check.
I mean, if you use the crowbar, you can roll at advantage.
Oh, right, I will. Yeah, sorry. I'll roll it one more time, because I need it. Oh, God. 16.
That'll do it.
I throw the crowbar back at him with the same sort of throw. Oh, I can't see anything.
So just to confirm, you threw it back to me?
No, to whoever gave it to me.
Okay, I just saw I was being pinged when you said that.
Oh, were you? Oh, sorry.
I'm not sure why the cart is moving when I move. I don't know how to make it quit.
You have it selected, so if you click into one of the other tools on the top left screen, and then click back to the person and select box, you can select just your square and leave the cart behind.
Nope.
Oh, weird.
Thank you. That did work for me. I had the same problem.
Oh, yeah, I've got it now. Thank you.
Can I take one of the torches?
What torches?
Oh, I thought you said you put a couple torches in, so I thought
No,
there was...
those are like street lights.
Okay, can I take a
I
street
will-
light in?
I will hand you a torch.
All right. He'll look at it dumbly for a second and then hit the end. Oh, wait. Actually, I think he can... Okay, he casts flame bolt on the end of it. Or fire bolt.
That'll make it burn.
It should. And that should give me light, right, Ryan?
And you have light.
But I still can't see.
You can't see?
Yeah. Oh, I don't have light. It's 0 and 0.
I can see.
I see light on your token. Like there's light emanating from it.
Well, that's interesting. Let me refresh my screen.
And when I click on your token, I can see stuff. usually it gives me the vision of whatever token I'm clicked on.
Yeah, I'm just refreshing right now just to see if that's... Oh, that fixed. Lovely. All right. Oh, that's interesting. Why is mine a triangle? Oh, because I'm holding Alt.
Oh, that's super cool.
All right. Now that we've got the lighting figured out, you guys make your way in through the broken doors, and you can see that the inside of this building is in shambles. The interior walls were obviously not built to be as sturdy as the exterior ones, and rooms to your left and right have collapsed. There's old pews and rugs that are in terrible shape. You can see light filtering in through a broken stained glass window further up on the right side. And
Faintly a being.
old Knell, with dark vision out past the light, can see a figure laying on the ground.
Can I as well? Is 60 feet enough dark vision to see that?
Maybe? Yes, it looks like it is.
Okay. Who's that over there? Was somebody in this place when the meteor came down?
I'll step in front of Tia,
I
obstructing
really need
her
to
view.
know why. I really need to know what's going. I need to know more about you later on.
All right, let me investigate.
Are they down, Ryan? You said.
Yes.
Old Nell's gonna stay like 10 feet off of Sparky and just follow behind.
As is Ulnan.
I'm moving cautiously ahead, and I have my sword readied and everything readied, and I'm looking for any sort of movement, sign of consciousness, aggression.
Give me a perception check.
Okay. Oh, just that's not that bad.
So the figure is completely naked, and he does appear to be breathing very shallow breaths.
It appears to be alive. Shall we kill it before it can...
We don't kill things.
Oh, right, I forgot.
They seem to be injured. Let's see if we can fix them.
I will, I'll nod and I'll walk up to the person on the ground and I'll cast Cure Light, Cure Wounds.
We're going to have a talk, because you following anything I say as literal is going to get awkward at some point in time.
Oh,
Or
sorry,
healing.
gang. Gotta step away and sue the baby. Be right back.
Okay.
You heal the figure on the ground, and you hear a great groan as he rolls over and kind of rubs his head.
What does he look like?
Well, if you can see his
zoom in.
token,
Right.
I wonder if I can share that picture somehow.
But
Okay,
like
sorry
that.
about that. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to share his picture. Can you see what he looks
Yeah.
like on the token?
Yeah. He's got red hair and a red beard, and he's really happy.
I mean, right now he's not, but
Oh,
yeah, that's in general what he looks like. He's a very muscular individual, and is clearly in some pain.
Were you in this building when the meteor hit?
In a matter of speaking, I guess, kind of.
What do you mean? By the way, you can call me Tia. Who are you?
My name's Tempest. Pleasure to meet you, Tia.
Well, that got an interesting reaction from the player.
are you the god Tempest?
Before you say that, I'd like you to make a religion check
yeah.
for me. Yeah.
Sorry, oh, never mind. I say nothing. Apparently, I didn't download the religion chapter.
Yeah, you come from the future too, when the gods are even more removed.
Okay.
So, like, Tempest hasn't been around for a long time. Nobody even really remembers that this was a temple to Tempest once upon a time. He's been gone for a really long time at this point. So, for anybody to know that there is a god named Tempest it would have required a higher religion roll than 3
1.
for sure.
Would anybody else be able to make a roll for that or no?
For sure. Tia, apparently part of your training in your home realm did involve some lessons on the gods, and the name Tempest is one that's familiar to you.
That fits with her past history. So
Yeah, she would have remembered someone from the stories named Rhodes, who would have been a high cleric of Tempest a long, long time ago.
Tempest. That's an unusual name. I've heard stories of a god named Tempest. Were you named after the god?
No, fair lady, I am he.
What? Did you come back to help me find the sword?
What sword?
The Orduna sword is gone missing, and I'm trying to help find it.
No, such paltry weapons of mortals are beneath my notice. It is interesting that you mention weapons, however, as I am in need of one.
I've got a quarterstaff if you really need it. And these very tiny pixie-sized nunchucks.
He bursts into laughter and then says, No, the weapon I seek is a specific weapon, not general. Weapon, armor, all of these things, but I am thirsty. Perhaps we can find a nicer place to discuss such things than this run-down old temple.
Could I ask one question first? You're a god and you fell out of a meteor. There were 2 other meteors in town. Does that mean other gods fell out of them?
More than likely, yes.
Why are gods falling out of meteors?
You got your one question. I need a drink.
Okay.
Trade you a set of clothing for another question.
Clothing would probably be good before leaving this place for a drink. Sure, why not?
And I'm going to gesture back at Tia and say, answer the lady. Why are gods falling out of the sky?
How about I promise to answer that question in full once we've gotten to know each other a little better over some drinks. In the meantime, I will say, welcome to a God's War.
Uh-oh.
Should we not investigate the other gods that have fallen before we look for refreshments?
Well, this is the market. There's a public house across the street. We could grab a brew and then ride out looking for the other meteors, but I think we get moving now.
I'm kind of all for going woo, 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 woo.
That was pretty great.
Sorry, she's playing with her cow going moo.
It is
Moo, moo.
fabulous. It is a wonderful soundtrack.
All right, so Tempest pulls on the clothes. They're a bit ill-fitting for him, quite tight, but certainly better than nothing.
I'll remove my extra set of clothes from my inventory.
Jesse, in here, your character had an opportunity to strip to give him the clothes off your back, and you're not taking it. You are clearly playing a different character.
Yeah. Hello, welcome to campaign 2.
Okay, well, I guess we'll follow him to a pub. I'm not sure I want to meet any more gods until I know whether they're likely to try and kill me or not. Like, this war thing sounds bad. I'd like more info.
All in good time, no rush, fair lady. No rush at all. And,
Follow you. We can give you drinks.
Tempest makes his way out of the building and he sees a huge crowd gathered here. And he looks around and says, so nice to see so many bright, shining, inquisitive faces. Nothing to see here. Everybody's just fine.
How does the crowd respond to that?
They're still curious about what happened, but they're glad to hear that nobody's hurt, and some people start making their way away, and people are asking, like, what are they supposed to do now? Some people suggest going back to the stadium to continue on with the night's festivities. But there are some people who are still sticking around and curious about what exactly happened in there.
Okay, I think we're just going to ignore those people, get everybody back into the wagon, ride through the market to like that tavern where we had met with Deacon, and if we can, treat it like a drive-through and like just yell at the barkeep to bring us out a round so that we can keep riding without even having to stop if we can. We do it.
All right. Yep. The barkeep will send out a pitcher and mugs. If you're taking them with you, he's going to charge you 3 silver pieces.
Yeah, old Knell will pay for it. He'll hand him a gold and expect 7 silver back.
Yep, he'll give you 7 silver back.
And we ride to the next meteor.
Okay. You start riding, and Tempest drains his stein quickly and has a satisfied look on his face. And says, all right, I'm in much better spirits now. Ask away.
What is this God's warrior speaking of?
Well, it has been some time since the gods influenced this world, or any other for that matter. In the time of even elven ancestors, I imagine, there was a large pantheon of gods that aided mortals in different ways. However, even before that time, there were 2 what I'll call elder gods who started creating everything on their own. Their names are Sharo and Daureth, light and undeath, respectively. And, well, they weren't very good gods, if I may be blunt. They were as eager to destroy as they were create. And they had ongoing tiffs on a cosmic scale that would destroy worlds without much care about what was going on those worlds. And there came a time when they realized that their war was going nowhere, and in an attempt to settle the dispute, they cleaved off some of their power each and created a 3rd god that would be their equal, named Stormlord. Stormlord settled their petty grievances. And there was a time of some peace for a few millennia. During that time, Stormlord seeded many worlds with life and enjoyed watching it grow. The peace was not to last. Sharo and Daureth again waged war, destroyed the worlds that Stormlord loved so much. An unintended consequence of the seeding of life, I suppose, was that life had power of its own in the cosmos, and through their own beliefs, they created myself and many other gods. We gained power and saw what Sharo and Daureth were doing was, not very good. Several gods simply winked out of existence as their followers were destroyed entirely when worlds were crushed. So it was that Stormlord came to us in secret and hatched a plot to stop the destruction once and for all. So it was that the first God's War happened, where all of us lesser gods and Stormlord and a great host of other beings, angels, demons, devils, dragons, basically anybody with any kind of power showed up, and we imprisoned Sharo and Daureth. We thought that would be the end of it. Of course, we left jailers behind to make sure that everything went fine. It didn't. They got free. We're quite upset about it. And, well, we tried to stop them, but it didn't last long. They began rounding us up, and, well, they killed many lesser beings, imprisoned the gods, and continued the hunt for Stormlord until just recently. Stormlord made himself known, itself known, and Sharo and Dareth went to confront it. In the confrontation, they discovered that Stormlord was far more powerful than both of them combined, for during their imprisonment, Stormlord had continued to seed life across the universe and continued to grow in power, leeching that power into itself, while Sharo and Dareth withered on the mountaintop. But because of the lessons that the Sharo and Dareth had learned over time in imprisonment, and the fact that they had not outright murdered the lesser gods, Stormlord had decided that they had learned their lesson, and so Stormlord simply ceased to be, giving up its essence, and Sharo and Dareth are once again in charge. Now, of course, they had all of us other gods locked up at the time, and weren't quite sure what to do with us. They spent a bit of time thinking about it, and decided that we may find our way back to the heavens and hells, but they would make a sport of it. Very like them, believe me. Anyway, myself and the other gods were, I guess the best way to describe it would be shattered. Our powers were diminished greatly, and we were sent all of the different shattered pieces to all of the different worlds with life across the universe. And so we are to fight each other, and the last god standing on a world will be allowed to return to the heavens and hells. And so it is my job to survive and be victorious above all others. During this, one second. During my stay here, I will need to recover artifacts of my own that have been scattered across the world, and every god will be seeking to do the same thing. We will be looking for faithful followers to aid us in our journey, and those followers will be rewarded handsomely. For you see, these artifacts that have been scattered across the world, well, only my own artifacts are useful to me. However, the artifacts of other gods can help mortals. So it is that a great deal of magic has found its way into your world after a lengthy spell of having little to no magical items remaining. And anyone who would follow me will reap the rewards as the war spreads across your world.
Do you know what other gods are here?
All of them.
Oh.
So we're potentially taking you into a fight. If we're looking for the other meteors, those are your competitors.
Indeed.
Case, do I believe everything he's been saying? Can I roll insight?
You sure can.
Everybody, I suck at insight. Get in on this.
Actually, Tia is going to as well.
Deacon is feeling very skeptical.
Sparky doesn't know what insight is.
Oh.
Those of you who rolled higher than a 15, which is almost everybody. I think Sparky and old Knell failed. You get the sense that he's being very forthright with you, very honest. He's not hiding anything. He's just telling it like it is. Deacon, you rolled a 20 or 22. So I would say that you, above the others, would note that the way he's talking about all this, his tone doesn't seem to match the gravity of the situation. Like, he's very laid back about it all, considering the fact that there are countless gods that have just been dumped on your world, and they're all going to be fighting to the death. It seems like it would be a more somber sort of affair.
You sure seem jovial about this whole situation being kicked out of the heavens and all. How can you be so lighthearted about world-ending war?
Oh, my friend, don't worry. Your world shall not end because of this war. I imagine there will be people swept up into it who will die, but civilization as a whole will continue, I assure you. I don't seek to slaughter innocent mortals. My only goal is to fight the other gods. And as it's been quite some time since your people worshipped me, perhaps I should tell you that I am a god of war. So I rather relish this adventure, and I look forward to knowing that I will come out on top. If not in this world, then in another. And I will return to my rightful place in the heavens in the end.
Are you expecting us to help you?
Well, I will certainly not take anything for granted. Let's say that. If you wish to aid me, then I would be pleased to have you on my side. If not, I will continue to search for others who may wish to fight by my side in this war. No hard feelings if you decide to go with someone else, or no one at all.
What benefit can we expect from service to you? Oh, I sound like a robot. I'm trying to go for Arnie.
Well, as I said, it is extremely likely that I will succeed in this venture, as I am one of the strongest gods on your world. And aside from simply traveling with me on a great many adventures and growing the faith, anyone who is a close follower of mine and helps in my mission will receive the artifacts of other gods and become not as gods, but perhaps a demigod yourselves.
Well, that's all well and good, but why would we want a god of war to ascend and be the only one ascending? Wouldn't we just be in war all the rest of our lives?
No, you misunderstand me. Across all of the worlds, there are all of the gods fighting in mortal form now. So it is not to say that I will be victorious on every world and be the only god returned to the heavens, but that at least one of me somewhere will be victorious. Of that I am certain. So while I will return to the heavens as a god of war, there will be likely most of the other gods returned to their places as well. Now, how this all plays out in the long run, I can't be certain, because Sharo and Daureth are, of course, the elder gods and far more powerful than the rest of us. So even if against all odds, I was successful on every world, and I was the only god returned to the heavens, I still would not be more powerful than Sharo and Daureth. So war caused by my followers would not run rampant across the universe. There might be a slight uptick, but, some people need to war.
Deacon is going to look around at the rest of you guys and look really skeptical at the idea, like, with the intention of trying to drive across that. Like, do we really want to promote war?
I'll be honest with you, mate. You seem like a bloke, but I don't think any of us are ready to commit to being your followers in this fight now, because we don't have enough information. We don't know nothing about any of your opponents. We don't know nothing about what supporting you might entail. So how about this? You owe us just a little bit. For the clothes, for the mule ride, for the brew you enjoyed. Could you make us a promise?
I'm listening.
If, as long as none of your fellow competitors agree to engage you within the city limits of Nordgard, you can stay in our wagon, we'll pick all of you up, and we will try to stand in between you, prevent any kind of conflict, and just generally get the three of you on your feet. But this God's War should not happen in the middle of this populated urban center. Would not be very nice for the people living here. So if you stick with us, we'll stick with you for the time being, and you just agree to give peace a chance until somebody, takes a first punch at you.
Anyone that I fight will be engaged in honorable combat. I don't believe in backstabbing and whatnot. Of course, there are other gods who would very much like to take me out that way. A fair fight wouldn't favor them. That said, I would be shocked if gods didn't form alliances with each other to improve their odds, especially some of the weaker gods. And, there will be gods that are stronger or weaker on different worlds. I had quite a few followers in this one. There will be remnants, I'm sure, who still remember. However, there will be other gods who, through no fault of their own, I'm sure, lost their entire populace of followers somewhere along the way, and will not stand a chance on this world. So I'm happy to travel with you and see who else wound up in this city, and see if perhaps we can avoid any bloodshed for the time being.
That wasn't really an agreement. That was a load of waffle and a maybe at the end.
I won't throw any punches first.
And if we're able to help you, you agree to talk to your fellow deities and take any conflict outside of the city?
I think you overestimate the impact that we can even have at this point. I have none of my artifacts. I don't know where they are. I have no power greater than any other mortal being. I have no magic about me. It's just me and my fists right now. It's not like I can call down some sort of ray of fire from the heavens to smite my enemies. Any portion of the God's War that happens in the city at this point will be as small as a bar fight.
So, do you know how to find your artifacts?
Unfortunately not. What I know of it is that each god will have one artifact that is somewhere near where they landed, and the other three will be scattered around the world. So, with luck, I will be able to find whichever artifact landed close to me in relative short order, and whether another god finds my other artifacts, and gives them to followers, and eventually brings them to me, or if they remain unfound, it will be up to me and my followers to find them. That remains to be seen.
I have a question.
Certainly.
If one of your competition has already found one of your artifacts, what will you do?
He looks at old Knell and says, well, I suppose I could try asking them nicely for it and see how that goes. However, I don't want you to underestimate how much these artifacts mean to us, because as we gather our artifacts, our powers will grow substantially. So to simply hand over an artifact to another god who wants it would be putting yourself at great disadvantage in the gods' war. It is unlikely that anyone would simply give me one of my artifacts if I asked. I'll try. Just know that it will likely come to blows.
And who will throw the first punch?
Again, he gives old Knell a side-eye and says, well, that would be them, I suppose.
I don't think they'll hardly need to punch if they already have your artifact, will they?
Well, it depends on which artifact. I mean, I've only got one weapon. The other three are not used in such a way, so they may still punch.
I do think it's wise to get a hold of these 3 deities or gods or whatever before they start getting their hands on artifacts. If we can get them to agree to take their fight outside of the city, it's a better chance of sparing all the innocent lives in here.
I agree.
I'd also kind of like to know who's in town, too. You know, there were some very unpleasant gods once upon a time.
There sure were. Still are. And I imagine I'll definitely be running into some of them.
What are your artifacts, by the way?
Well, the weapon I mentioned is a battle axe. I also have plate armor, a shield, and a saddle.
Was there anything in the temple that we should have looked for in there?
Oh, no. These artifacts would have appeared as meteors to you, falling through the night sky at the same time I did. None of them existed on this world before this point.
So there were 2 others in the city and then several out of town.
Yes. We'll see what the 2 in the city were. I imagine they were gods, since our followers would have existed in this city. I imagine the artifacts will be elsewhere, scattered about the wilds, perhaps sites of significance in the past or present. It's hard to say. We weren't told terribly much about how this was going to work before we were sent to across the worlds.
All right, I suppose we head to the next nearest meteor.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's head to the next nearest one and see who's there.
Okay. You guys make your way back through town to the bridge to City Hall. By this point, it's quite late at night. And in speaking with other people, you determine that the other 2 meteors are about the same distance away from where you are now. One apparently landed in a clinic, and the other one landed in an abandoned building.
Well, if the building's any indication of the god, I think I'd like to see the clinic.
Was the clinic abandoned?
No, the clinic is in use.
Oof.
So there may be injured people there.
I think we're needed there more.
Okay, you guys start making your way to the clinic.
As we go, what's the attitude in the city? Like, is it people still celebrating? Have they more or less gotten over the meteors? Is there any sign of panic or people running from a direction or anything like that?
No, nobody appears to be panicked. Most people are heading in for the night at this point. The main celebrations appear to be over. so people are heading to bed.
How long do we think the clinic is away, Ryan? Is this something that we're going to be in the middle of the night getting there?
Definitely, yeah.
So maybe we should wait until morning and face it in the morning? Thoughts from people?
But by then, there's a possibility that somebody else might have gained control of person or the artifact that landed there.
True also if we head there right now.
I'm good to keep going for a while. If the rest of you want to lie down and take a little shut-eye while I drive, that's fine.
Feels too important to me. I think we should keep on.
Hey, when we'll lay down and nap during the driving?
Ryan,
Yes.
I'm about to ping right about there.
Okay.
I basically roll out of with my bag, and I head in behind into this green space.
Okay. I'll give you a separate token.
Splitting the party already. Woohoo!
It always works well, right?
Right. Never goes poorly.
And what are you doing in there, Ulnan?
I am reversing my cloak, and I am doing what I can to quickly, down and dirty, change my appearance to something rather nondescript, where it isn't my background, but it isn't somebody specific other than my background.
Okay. Do you want to use your disguise kit for that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you can give me a check.
That's a deception, right?
Yeah. All right, you do a really good job and look like a different person now.
In our time together, I would have mentioned to old Knell tells to watch for to identify me if I am trying to be incognito, other than myself. For instance, I always wear one of like 3 brooches, kind of thing.
Okay. So I assume you're not coming back to the wagon then, as it makes its way to the clinic?
I am still heading to the clinic.
Okay.
Yeah, if anybody asks, old Knell will just say like, "Don't worry, he knows what he's doing. He's a good lad."
Is that torch of mine still going?
No, that would have burned out a long time ago.
All right.
Okay, then before anybody else lights a torch, old Knell is just going to tell everybody, let's maybe do things a little bit different. Now that we know what we're potentially walking into, I'd maybe like to try and sneak a little bit. And he, with a flourish of his hands, he's going to cast dancing lights and summon 3 globules that provide dim light out to how far? Let me read. 4 torch-sized lights within range. I can make them appear as torches, lanterns, glowing orbs. Each light sheds light in a dim light in a 10-foot radius, and I can move them up to 60 feet ahead of us. So I would summon them and just sort of suggest to the party that we stay behind the globes as they go.
Sounds good.
Tempest asks if you want him to go into the clinic with you.
Nah, mate. Stay in the cart if you don't mind. We don't know who we're going to find here, and if they're going to come out swinging, then better they not have a bigger reason to do so.
Fair enough. I'll wait here.
Only question, would you recognize who they were?
Oh, definitely. I know, especially the gods from the heavens. I'm quite familiar with most of them.
Would you be willing to wear a cloak and come in with me and stick near the back?
Certainly.
Just remember, you're not throwing the first hit.
I know.
Okay, so I'll stick to the back with Tempest.
I'll stick to the back with Tia.
I guess I'll lead the way in.
Are you going in, Tia?
Yep.
Okay, then I'll go in too.
And I will follow in at some point after they've all committed to going in.
As you step into the temple, you see that it's very well lit, and standing near the doors, you see two figures. One of them is wearing heavy armor, the other one isn't, and they both bear the symbols of Charot on their chests. And you hear Tempest kind of as soon as he sees them.
I'll tug on his arm and pull him back outside to find out what he's noticing.
Okay. He says, I really don't think it's a good idea for me to be in there. If Sharo's sent his dogs out hunting for gods, wouldn't be safe in their presence.
Okay, how about we stay out here then?
That's all well and good. I think I'll stay in the wagon for now.
Sounds good.
As I'm standing fairly close to them, what are these priests doing?
They were engaged in quiet discussion together, but the cleric turns towards you as you enter and says, "The hour is late, friends. What brings you to the clinic?"
I was wondering something similar. With these guys, like, is this where they would be normally?
You're not sure. You don't see anybody sitting near them waiting for help.
Basically, are Dalreth and Shiro known right now, or is their presence
Yes.
likely new?
No, their presence has been growing over the past few hundred years since they were released. So there's a whole temple to Shiro that you guys would have walked past in your journeys through Nordgard. So yeah, it's definitely known that these gods exist.
Perfect. That's the context I was hoping for.
We were just curious about that thing that fell from the sky. You know anything about it?
Indeed, we preyed on this issue, and Shiro has given it his highest priority that we investigate. In speaking with the people around the city, we discovered that this clinic appears to have been one of the places where a meteor landed. We are investigating what happened, but so far have not turned up much.
Mind if we take a look around?
No, of course not. Please let us know if you find anything of interest.
I'm going to give them a non-committal grunt.
Okay.
I'll start looking around a little bit.
Old Knell will trail Deacon, staying on your 6 since you seem to taking the lead for this one.
Okay. And what's everybody else doing?
I'm waiting patiently until I'm told that I have arrived after my detour.
Okay. Yeah. You'd be arriving around this time.
I'm staying with Tempest, who is in the cart, who is hiding. In part to keep an eye on Tempest and make sure we know where at least one god is.
Okay. And Sparky, I assume you're staying with Tia?
Yep.
Okay. Deacon and Old Knell, you start looking around. So you feel free to wander around and talk to anybody that you want to.
I can't really see what this person is here. It's kind of blacked out.
It's a commoner.
I'm going to say it's the commoner. Hey, you seen that meteor?
Oh, no, sir. No.
I'm going to look around the building and look for the big hole that it would have created.
And do I believe the commoner?
You do. So Deacon, you take a look around for a hole, and you do see another priest of Shiro further in the temple, who appears to be looking through some pieces of debris that have fallen on the floor in the next chamber.
I'll move up there.
As you go, Old Knell is just going to sort of catch you by the cloak for a second and say, "Oi, Deacon, you're being pretty direct about this, mate. Do you think that maybe a bit of subterfuge might serve us best?"
I find a direct approach often is the best. However, if you prefer, you may do the talking.
Let me distract that priest. You any good at following trails and such?
I did a bit of tracking in my youth. I'm not a novice, but I haven't been after it for a while.
See if you can find any evidence of somebody walking away from the debris pile. I'm going to see if I can't distract that priest for a little bit and get any kind of information from him, or at the very least sabotage his own search efforts while you split off, all right?
You got it, partner.
Okay, so you guys head deeper into the temple. Ulnan, what are you going to be doing?
Ulnan is walking through the door, slightly staggering, and says, What in the hells was that?
The priest approaches and says, "What did you see?"
There was meteors, and then there was a crowd that basically trampled me trying to run away from it.
Ah, I'm sorry to hear of your injuries. Yes.
I'm not hurt. I'm just a little disoriented.
I see. Well, we are interested in the same thing. That is what brought us to this clinic.
Any way I could help?
If you would wish to aid us in our investigation, we would not say no.
If Knell is wandering this way for his distractions he was doing, I'm going to point in that direction and go, "Are they helping too?"
Old Knell is kind of walking deeper into the temple right now, but the priest nods, says yes. And they are also guided by the light.
Is there anywhere I shouldn't be going? Don't want to get you guys mad at me or anything, you know.
No, there's no area off limits as far as we are concerned.
Sounds good. I'll do what I can to help. And I'm going to head off in that direction.
Okay. By this time, Tempest, you have approached the priest of Sharo and see that he's looking through the debris.
So Tempest strips off his clothes and challenges him to some orcish wrestling.
Excellent.
Tempest is still in the cart with me. I kept my eye on him.
I think what Ryan meant to say is old Knell. So
old habits die hard.
I know. Old Knell is going to walk up to the priest and just to be clear, like I'm got my hooded cloak like pulled up to obscure my features. My gloves are on. I'm very bundled in so that nobody can really get a look at me. And I'm just going to say in a sort of pitching my voice to Carrie, I'm just going to call out, "Hail Sharo, Lord of Light."
The priest looks up at you and nods and returns the greeting. "What can I do for you, child?"
"What is your name, brother?"
"Artemis. And yours?"
"That's not important, brother Artemis. Have you made any inroads at finding the missing meteor?"
"Well, that is a problem. I've been looking through the debris here from the ceiling," and he points up at the roof. "And clearly, a meteor did strike here, but everyone is being quite tight-lipped about it. Everyone who's in the room now claims they weren't here at the time of impact, and doctors and nurses are all scurrying about and busy with patients. I'm not sure what to make of it."
"What does your faith tell you, brother?"
"Sharo answered my prayers and told me that these meteors are of importance. I'm not sure why, but I feel that the people here are hiding something from me."
"Why do you think they would do such a thing?"
"I don't know. The faithful of Sharo have always been on good terms with the doctors and nurses here. We often send our clergy to help with the healing process of those who are injured. The sudden mysteriousness and secrecy is troubling."
"Think it through logically, brother. What could possibly incentivize someone previously friendly with you to obfuscate and deny us information?"
"There's something that is against Sharo here."
"And for it to have affected these people so, perhaps they might be either cozened by magic or afraid."
"Yes, perhaps."
"After all, I find it unlikely that they could suddenly be loyal to something other than Sharo in his greatness and in his light."
"Indeed."
"Have you attempted to administer some sort of test or cure for magic on any of the people who are denying that they saw anything?"
"No, I have not."
Old Knell is just going to sort of like nod at one of the people on the benches. "Impress me. See what you can do with that individual over there, novitiate."
Sorry, which one were you pointing at?
Doesn't matter. I'm just telling him to get him out of the search area so that Deacon can do his thing and do whatever he wants.
Okay. Yeah, he goes over to start talking to a person on the bench.
And in that time, I'm going to see if I can find any evidence of a person who might have walked away from the area.
Okay, give me a survival check.
Nice.
Wow. Even though the Priest of Shiro has been messing with the debris, you do get the sense from the patterns that there was someone laying in this mess, and they were. It looks like there are several sets of footprints through the area, and the body was picked up and brought away down the hall towards the front door.
All right. I'm going to see if I can catch Old Knell's eye, and I'm just going to gesture sort of covertly and just give him like a, they went that way.
I think it would be reasonable that I'd be looking over my shoulder on occasion to check on how my friend's doing.
For sure.
Okay, so now once he gives me the wave, can I just sort of seize my moment and stealth away without either of the two people there noticing that I've left?
Yeah, give me a stealth check.
Not the best.
Better than the priest. Yeah, you managed to walk away without him noticing while he's talking to the commoner. So you guys break away from there. Ulnan, you've been searching around in that portion of the clinic.
It appears from what the little bits I can see, I'm going to guess off my cuff that they are clinic, essentially examination rooms.
Yeah, they're just little examination rooms where you can see nurses and doctors talking to patients in hushed tones.
I'm basically indiscreetly, or as discreetly as possible, just wandering up to there, gazing into each, see if there's anybody in there that looks, in any of them, that looks moderately hurt, or like they are potentially in clothes that aren't theirs.
Okay, give me an insight check.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
Yeah.
that ain't
Look at
bad.
that.
Yeah, 17's good. Yeah, you see a couple of nurses and a doctor working with people. The person that the doctor is talking to appears to have some minor injuries, like nothing major. The other two don't have any outward injuries that you can tell. In terms of the clothes that they're wearing, it looks like everybody's wearing stuff that fits them and suits them.
And I saw there was a door I passed.
Yep.
I'm going to wander back the direction I came from and casually see if it is a locked door.
It's not locked.
I'm going to wander in that way.
Okay. You find a hallway with a door on either side.
And I will continue my process. I will check if that one is locked.
It's not.
I'm taking the priest of Shiro at their word that nowhere was off limits.
Okay. You find what appears to be a rest and storage area. There's a doctor and a nurse in here sitting at separate tables, just eating some meals and having a little bit of downtime. And they look up at you when the door opens and the doctor says, "Yes. What are you doing here?"
I wandered in when that whatever it was hit, and the priests of the Shiro, they said if I wanted to help, to find some way to help. So I've been wandering around looking.
Well, you can see that nothing going on in here.
Sorry to disturb.
No worries.
And
Could you close the door, please?
oh yeah, sorry. And he will carry on his journey with the other door.
Okay. In here, you see another room very similar to the last one. There's a single nurse sitting here having a drink, and she looks up at you.
I'm going to basically take one step in, go, "Oh, sorry for disturbing you, ma'am," and walk right back out, shutting the door behind me.
Okay.
At which point I'm going to meander up to the end of the hallway over here. Oh, up to here. Is this a dead end here?
Yes.
Okay, then I wouldn't have wandered that way because I would have noticed that when I was doing my lap.
Yeah, no worries.
So I'm going to head back to the pathway I was and meander to that side, muttering something to the priests about, sorry I disturbed all the doctors and nurses who are trying to relax over there.
Okay. And as you make your way out, you see old Knell and Deacon are also heading in the same direction that you are.
Old Knell would recognize Ulnan because of his tell that he puts on his disguise, and will just sort of like give him a with us hand gesture and just mutter to Deacon, "It's Ulnan."
I'll just give you a nod.
I will follow him along.
As we link up, I'll just you speak Elvish, right, Ulnan?
Yes.
I'll mutter to you in Elvish, just sort of giving you an update on what we've discovered so far and the trail that we're following, and just let you know that we're gonna try and do our best to get in and out without anybody being any the wiser as to what it is that we're doing.
I will say nothing and nod.
Okay. So taking a look down this hallway, you can see that these are more examination rooms. There's a couple of nurses with a couple of people in these rooms here.
Let's split up and each go down a hallway. Knock on the wall 3 times if you find something.
I give you a nod and I'll head down this way.
All right. So you guys are taking a look around. Ulnan, down that hallway, the end room is empty, and there's another room with a nurse and a commoner. Deacon, you head down that way. The room that you're in is empty. The room beside it has a nurse and a commoner. Old Knell, when you head down that way, you see that there's a bunch of rooms that branch off of another hallway here, and you can see a nurse standing at one end.
I'm going to approach the nurse.
Okay. She looks at you and says, "Oh, hello, sir. Anything I can help you with?"
And old Knell is going to hold up a hand and is going to tug like one of his gloves away, revealing like his ashy dark skin with the, old but faded looking chemical burns on it. And he's going to say, "Oh, please, miss, please. I've been burned so badly. Is the Blessed One here? Could they help me? Please, I'm in need."
Give me a deception check.
Darr, that was a 20 briefly.
She takes. She doesn't take a close look at your hand, but she sees the disfigurement and says, "Oh my, I'm so sorry to hear that. Yes, I believe we have an empty room just down the hall behind you. If you don't mind, I'll get a doctor to come and take a look at you."
Can I insight her to see like if she reacted to my lies about asking for some blessed individual?
Sure. You definitely get the sense that something's up with her. Like her eyes widened just slightly when you said that, and now she's kind of like feigning that you meant a doctor.
Can I see anybody else in the room?
Where you're standing now, no. You can definitely hear that there's someone in the room on the right, but you can't see anything from there.
And like there is also a room on the left, right?
Yep.
Okay, can I sort of like feign slipping and falling to the wall and just sort of slide into that room on the left and just say, "Oh, please, the pain, it's so great."
Yes. It shouldn't be too difficult. You slide in there and she's like, oh, very well. I'll come in and take a look now and let the doctor know what's going on. And she starts to look at your hand.
I'd like to make a sneak attack on her. Just I would like to like just as she's like looking at my one hand, sleight of hand, a knife out of the other one, and bop her on the head with the pommel of it.
So that description sounds like non-lethal damage.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Do I get advantage because it's surprising?
Do you get advantage on surprise rolls? I don't remember.
I would have to be a higher level for that to be a class feature. I mean, there are the rules that speak to, like, if you make an attack against a target that like doesn't see it coming, like you might assign advantage or disadvantage as you like. But I think this really is up to you.
I think that you need advantage to get your sneak attack.
I would need advantage to get my sneak attack, but in this case, like it's a question to Ryan as to like whether or not you think that she would be unsuspecting of this, and therefore I would be worthy of having advantage on the roll.
Okay. Give me a stealth check, and we'll see if the attack is unseen. If it's unseen, then you do get advantage.
Dirty, filthy 20.
Yeah. She's not going to beat that. So you will get advantage on the attack.
Thank you.
Oh, that's funny. She has... that's not enough damage to knock her out.
Well, that's going to get awkward.
Yep.
Curses.
So you whack her on the head, and she stumbles back and says, "Ah, what is this? What's happening?" And she stumbles out of the room.
Okay, guys, I hope you can make something of this distraction that I have now caused.
I'm protecting the god in the cart.
Would we have heard this nurse screaming?
Give me perception checks. Yes. Ulnan definitely heard it.
Yeah, none of
Deacon, you would have heard something too.
All right. I'm definitely going to go quickly and investigate.
Okay, just give me a second here while I set up combat.
With the nurse?
And the priest and the...
Oh, right, yeah.
Oh, that shouldn't say Tempest. Stupid. Oh no. What's going on with the hype tracks? Why is it playing all of them?
I'm not hearing any of them.
Oh,
I'm hearing all of
I
them.
heard a whoosh of them.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that was weird. Okay, Old Knell, you're up first.
Yeah, just going to casually, calmly, and very suavely curse under my breath in every single awful Australian curse I can think of. Step up behind the nurse and finish the job.
Okay. You will not have advantage on this attack.
But I mean, does a 12 hit?
Yes.
Okay, so ignore the sneak attack damage. She takes 5 damage, non-lethally, like I'm trying to bonk her on the head.
Yep. She is unconscious.
Free interactive action. Knife is back up my sleeve, and I am cradling her body, yelling, "Help! Help! Faithful of Shiro, to me!"
Ooh, okay.
Plot twist.
Yeah. Old Knell, you see a rather pretty, short, blonde lady look out, and she says, "How dare you summon Shiro's faithful here?" And she casts a spell at you.
Another plot twist.
Oh no!
Does a 16 hit?
Yes, it does. I don't have armor.
Oh no!
You take 10 radiant damage as she slams a guiding bolt into you.
I am blasted off my feet and am unconscious.
Deacon, you hear combat happening the way that Old Knell went. So it's your turn.
All right. I will dash. So I think that was 10 and then 30. And I'm just going to look around. Do I see the pretty lady?
No, you don't. You see a nurse who is laying on top of Old Knell, and Old Knell has a smoldering wound in his chest.
All right. I'm going to run up as close as I can and try and extricate Old Knell from the nurse.
Okay, you already used your action to dash, right?
True.
Yeah, so you can get up to him, but you won't be able to do anything with him at this time.
All right. I'm just going to That'll be the end of my turn then.
Ulnan, you heard all this as well and saw Deacon run into the fray. What are you going to do?
I am also dashing. There's my 30, and that's 20.
And so, yeah, you see Deacon kind of kneeling beside Old Knell, and you can also see that Old Knell has a smoldering wound in his chest.
So this map is on a diagonal. Does that mean the straight hallways are diagonals or straight lines?
Yeah, I know. I didn't think this through before. I built the buildings this way to match the city map, but it complicates movement inside. So yeah, just treat it like diagonals as you're going through.
Okay, then I'm back about here because I treated it as they were straight lines.
Okay.
And I was using the measuring to do 30 and 20 and 10.
Okay. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
Do we hear the sounds of combat out in the cart?
Probably not. Give me a difficult perception check, DC 20.
And Shane could as well, right? Sparky?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, what check was that again?
Perception DC 20.
Oh,
Technically possible.
not with that roll.
No.
You guys are blissfully unaware of anything happening in the clinic.
Excellent. It's so relaxing. Can we be pumping Tempest for information?
Sure.
Excellent. We'll let you get back to combat now. Thank you so much for the interlude.
No problem. So the medic, seeing what's happened out there, drags the nurse into the side room that they're in and puts her on the bed and is freaking out. Oops, I got the wrong token. Oh, not again. All right, Old Knell. Death save, I guess.
That's a success. I smolder beautifully.
Ryan?
Yeah.
I was just looking at the measuring tool that I was using, and it looks like it was taking account diagonals when I was able to get here on my 60.
Okay, no problem. Deacon and Ulnan, you guys see a beautiful halfling woman come walk over to Old Knell, and she's looking down at him, just this look of fury on her face. And as she looks at you and and looks a little bit confused and says, "You don't look like Shiro's typical followers."
Well, I'm not.
And she says, "Are you here to harm me?"
I don't even know who you are, ma'am.
Let's keep it that way. And she ducks back into the room.
Can I incite that and see if I can figure out that this is someone who I might be interested in, or like that I might think this is who we're looking for?
Yeah, you don't even need to roll. She looks weak and injured. So she certainly fits the profile. The clothes that she's wearing don't fit her well. They're way too big. So it's a good bet that she's the one that you're looking for.
All right. Can I try and stabilize Old Knell in that? I don't think I have a medicine kit or anything.
We are still in combat rotation, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have a medicine kit or anything like that. Is it possible for me to try and stabilize him?
Yes.
All right, I would like to try and do that if I can.
Sure. Give me a medicine check. Not helpful.
Damn.
Anything else on your turn?
No, I think that's... Actually, I am going to move over towards where the lady went. Yeah, kind of like in between her and Old Knell. And that'll be it.
Okay. You guys hear footsteps, running footsteps coming from behind you. And then it's Ulnan's turn.
I'm thinking, sorry.
No worries. Take your time.
I have two very distinct lines of action, and I'm deciding which one is the one I'm going to pursue. I am moving to there, and after having seen the look of fury that was given, I am returning the favor. Eldritch Blast.
What?
I changed my appearance for a reason. I was thinking this might happen.
That's a hit. And she goes down.
Dead? Dead? Surely she gets death saving throws.
And PCs typically don't.
Oh, this is the very opposite of what I wanted to happen.
We are always a wild ride, you know that.
Ulnan, why?
The look of fury she gave while she was standing over your body. That is exactly why.
Oh, Ulnan reef smashed.
Anything else on your turn, Ulnan?
No.
The medic is busy working on the nurse, making sure she's okay, and looks over and sees Yondola drop and just screams. Total, utter panic. More footsteps. Old Knell, death save, please. That's a success. 2 successes and no failures.
This doesn't feel like a success, Ryan.
No kidding. Deacon, your turn.
Again, I'm going to try and stabilize Old Knell.
Okay, medicine check. Success. You have stabilized Old Knell.
All right, so that is an action, right?
Yes,
And he's still unconscious but not making death save.
that's right.
Can I pick him up as a bonus action?
No.
All right. Then, and I'm hearing footsteps, and that chick is dead, so I'm going to move, and that'll be all.
The priest of Shiro comes running around the corner and says, "What's happened? We heard fighting."
A woman attacked my friend, and some stranger attacked her back. I stabilized him, but she looks dead to me. Any chance you know any magic that might help her?
Let me see. If the damage is not too grave, I may be able to. And he steps through and looks at her and says, "No, I'm sorry. She is beyond my powers."
Well, 1 for Tempest.
Ulnan, what would you like to do?
Why, I think I'm going to help my friend up.
Okay, he is unconscious.
I'm using healing light.
Okay.
For 1d6.
Okay, you can roll your d6 to give Old Knell some hit points back.
There was a 5 right above the description. And
Oh, okay, yeah, I see it. So, Old Knell, you wake up.
Are we out of initiative?
I think at this point, yes. I'm going to end initiative, or end combat.
whether we get into a new fight momentarily remains to be seen.
Yeah. So the paladin also comes running up and takes up a stance that he's blocking the hallway, not letting anybody through, while the priest takes a look at the dead woman and begins questioning the doctor about this. And it comes out through his questioning that this woman's name was Yondola. She fell through the ceiling of the clinic and was unconscious, so they administered aid to her, and eventually she woke up. And he had just begun speaking with her about what had happened and where she was from when the ruckus broke out.
At this point, if old Knell has been upped from Ulnan, he's going to quickly take stock of the situation, and he's going to try and interrupt the interrogation of the doctor by the priest by saying in a sort of officious kind of way, like completely all deception here. If you want me to make a deception roll now, I'll do it. But he's just going to say, by Chiro's light, there has been foul work at play. All of these people are innocent, but they have been ensorcelled. You must get them all into the main chamber under lockdown until they can come to their senses. Treat them gently. Do not harm them. They are victims.
Yeah, I'm going to need a deception on that.
Don't suppose I have inspiration to spend, do I?
Not yet, nope.
Not bad, though.
Sorry, I just needed to move tokens around.
Oh, no.
The priest isn't sure what you're speaking of, that they would be ensorcelled in any way. but says that he's going to continue the interrogation to learn more about this mysterious woman from the sky. He feels that this is why Shiro sent him to the clinic.
And old Knell is just going to nudge Deacon and ask him to scoop the body so that we can try and get it out of here. And again, just sort of like in a big blustery way, old Knell is going to declare that I believe this to be the terrible work of Dalreth. I must take this body and put it into quarantine where its influence cannot affect the innocent any longer. We shall return to the Temple of Shiro.
And I'll scoop up the body.
Okay, I want another deception roll.
The people want to be lied to, and I oblige.
Okay, the priest says, "Oh, thank you very much for your help. Yes, please take the body to the temple. They will pray and seek insight into what we should do next. I am concerned about this. If we have people falling from the sky and the gods are involved, it is a dark portent."
And we'll scoot to the cart with her body as long as nobody else objects to our presence.
Nobody else objects.
So once we get out of earshot, old Knell is going to start hyperventilating, and he's just going to say, like, I'm sorry, I was trying to, create a distraction, and I did not expect you to put it down like that, and, oh, Lord, I just wanted to do good, and now we've gone and killed a god.
As soon as we get out, actually, I am paying no attention to our group, and I am wandering off to reacquaint myself with my usual appearance.
Okay.
I'm gonna say things went south there, buddy. But remember what Tempest said. This ain't the only one. Only one god's gonna live on this place.
Oh, what just happened to you guys?
Oh yeah. They come out of the clinic, and you see old Knell has a new smoking hole. Well, it's not smoking anymore, but a bandage wrapped around his chest, and has blood on him. He looks like a mess.
What in the world happened to you guys?
I'm gonna put the body into the cart and be like,
Why do
let's
we
get
have a
out of here.
body?
As you load the body into the wagon, Tempest looks down at the body, and you see him frown.
We messed up bad. I was trying to make a distraction that we could sneak her out in the middle of it, and shooting started and she went down. This is all my fault.
This is the way of things. It's a lot to process.
You're a god. Can't you pick her back up?
I told you I don't have those types of powers. I have no magic. Nothing to help with this.
Could someone pick her back up?
There's no need. It is simply one less god for me to face in the end. But it is unfortunate. It is also strange that she showed up here. I haven't seen many halflings in the city since we got here.
Do you know who this was?
Oh yes, I'm familiar with Yondola. She is a protector of the halfling people. If she's here and there aren't many halflings, that means, well, she didn't stand much of a chance of winning the Gods' War without followers.
I didn't want this to happen. I just wanted to get all of you out of the city where you weren't going to hurt no one.
Was anyone else hurt?
I mean, not yet.
That'll be a deception check, please.
Oh, no, the nurse. Yeah, okay.
And you. There's a variety of people.
People that are nice and don't tell lies and matter, which isn't old Knell. So yeah, he's going to say, well, nobody got hurt, and then he's going to correct himself after a second and say, no, I'll definitely knocked out a nurse as part of my deception.
A nurse? Interesting choice. Well, It is what it is. I imagine there are others meeting similar fates around the world as we speak. We are at our most fragile right now, and it's unfortunate. Yondola was a spirited warrior, and I could have seen myself allying with her, but it is not to be. So there's no point in mourning what could have been.
I'm just going to pat old Knell on the back.
I just wanted to do some good, mate. Oh, no.
In a way, you did.
Only one can win here, I guess.
Yes, and I would not have relished a battle with Yondola. So, as I did not have to kill her with my own hands, it is a good thing in that way.
Where's Ulnan?
Did we see him, slip off or walk away or whatever?
Well, he would have left out the front door as well, but he would have been in disguise, so only you and old Knell would have known it was him slipping out. The others wouldn't have recognized him.
I reckon he'll be back shortly.
And it's not long before Ulnan rejoins the group.
As soon as I walk up, I look at Tempest and I ask, is she one of yours?
She was.
Deacon is going to give Ulnan a really sideways glance, what the hell, man?
Can we not talk about this outside the door of the clinic, maybe?
Let's go back to the inn.
No, there's still one more out there. We gotta find the last meteor.
Okay, you guys want to go and investigate where the other meteor landed?
Yep, has my vote.
Tia's kind of tired, but she'll come along.
While we are in our travels, Ulnan will say, as I understood it, this was a fight of the gods till there is only one. They are at their weakest now. It was in the back of my mind that might happen. That's why I changed. And I turned the corner to see her glaring down at Knell with a look of utter fury on her face. At Nell's body.
I can't fault you for trying to save me, Ulnan. In fact, I'm grateful that you thought I was worth saving. It's just, this isn't how I wanted it to go down, you know? I was hoping that we could grab all of these deities and then get them outside of the city where they could do whatever they wanted. Ally, talk to themselves, hack each other's head off. Just wanted it to not be the problem of innocent folk, you know?
I suspect, with the decision that was made today, I'm probably not just going to be hearing this from y'all. I imagine there's a little voice in my head that probably has some concerns about how I am not, what was the phrase, doing better.
Tia, do you have any opinions about all this, seeing as you're some fairy queen from the future or something? Like, do you know anything
where did
about...
you get that idea?
Well, Sparky's a robot man from the future, and you're looking for some, royal sword or something.
I'm looking for a sword. I'm not from the future.
Sparky, is that true?
He is absent right now, but he would confirm that, I believe. Ryan, is that correct?
Yeah, Tia is not from the future.
Right, so you're just a regular fairy queen. Got it.
Well, that's very flattering, but I've never been called a fairy queen before.
Anyway, where do you stand on this whole god war business?
I'd like to know what gods are in the neighborhood. I think that's the most pertinent question right now. There were some good ones, there were some terrifying ones, there were ones that just caused chaos. Our lives could be about to get very messy whether we get involved or not.
It feels like, thanks to more careless actions, that we have all been cast on a course of participating in this God's war, whether we wanted to or not. And I really didn't want to.
I don't think we could have avoided it, my friend. But perhaps Tia could be of some use to us here. She seems to know a bit about this. Maybe we bring her along next time, and if there's a bad one we come in contact with, we take him out right away.
There are some scary ones.
At least Tempest here seems to have some honor.
Yes, from what I know. And she'll glance at him.
And there will be some glaring going on from Ulnan.
I mean, if we're going to be involved in this, I think we should try and choose a good, honorable deity to support.
I would agree.
Pretty sure we killed the last good, honorable deity that we met.
Why was a good honorable deity trying to kill you?
Because I knocked an innocent woman out.
Boy, this all went wildly off kilter. Okay.
Can you give me an insight check, Old Knell?
No.
Okay, that's fine. So you guys make your way through the streets in the wee hours of the morning. There aren't a whole lot of people out to talk to, but you do meet kind of a shady figure hanging out in an alley at the mouth of an alleyway, and he's eyeing you up as you guys are making your way through the streets.
Just watching us go by?
With definite interest, yeah.
Tempest, do you know him?
Nope, doesn't look familiar to me.
Can we see this person's features like clearly? Would it be easy to recognize him again?
Not really. He's kind of looking like Old Knell with the hood pulled up, so you can't get a good look.
Old Knell is going to take a break from being sad and flash him like the thieves can't hand signal equivalent of West Side.
He flashes you a hand symbol equivalent of South Side.
Oh shit. Okay. I was being fairly facetious. I think what Old Knell would have actually done is just like a hey, hey, how are you? But like, okay, I declared it. So like, if he clearly indicates that like he is not only like a roguish individual, but specifically like a rogue in this part of town, Old Knell is just going to sort of like, casually roll out of the driver's seat of the cart without actually stopping the mules and let you guys just keep plodding on down the street a little bit.
Do the mules know how to drive themselves?
They're going at a nice steady clip.
Oh.
You guys are free to like declare what you're doing.
Was anybody up in the front seat with him, or do we have mules wandering aimlessly now?
Well, Sparky had been up front with him before, so he could try to drive.
Okay.
I'm going to just kind of look at everyone as Old Knell rolls out and give a sigh and just kind of hop out to follow him. I'm going to stay back, though.
Okay.
I'm going to ask Sparky to try and stop the cart.
He attempts to do that.
Old Nell's going to look back at Deacon and just say, look, can you give me a little bit of distance here, please? This is like, it's sort of club business, and as much as I like you, Deacon, you're not in the club.
And as you say that, the wagon starts careening wildly down the road as Sparky utterly fails in slowing it down, and the mules go off at a run.
I'm going to look at the wagon, sigh again, and be like, all right, buddy, but you seem to have a knack for getting yourself in trouble.
I mean, to be fair, it's not just me.
Well, you got that right. I think we might be better as a team anyway. I'll stay back, but I got your back.
You're a peach. And now I'm kind of wondering what's going to happen with the saga of the wagon. So do they get another shot at trying to stop it?
Yeah, they will. Skippy just didn't understand how the commands for the mules worked. He had seen you kind of flicking them the reins slightly as you went, and so he was a little bit robot man overdid it, and the mules are going for a run, and they're going to run for a while. So Old Knell, you watch as the wagon goes off into the distance. And you note that the figure in the alleyway is kind of chuckling to himself.
I'll get within spitting distance of him and just say, all right, the tourists are going for a ride, so we can talk a little bit of business if that suits you, mate.
Yeah, sure, why not? How's it going out in the west side of town?
Not gonna lie, I was mostly being cheeky. I'm actually new in town, unaffiliated with anyone.
Yeah. That works out well. You looking to make some friends down here in the south side?
Might be. Mostly just don't want to horn in on anyone else's action. I've got myself a crew of do-gooders at the moment, so Just want to make sure that we're not stepping on no toes and not causing no hard business for no one.
Well, I mean, other than sending that team of mules charging down the street in the middle of the night, causing a racket, don't imagine you'll be causing us too much trouble.
Well, you don't know me yet that well, mate. Tell you what, and I'll flash like a gold coin. What's the going rate on a couple of questions?
Well, you just happen to have it there in your hand.
And flicking him the coin, right. Who runs this part of town?
Oh, this part of town. Well, you know, the Council of Nordgard be running the whole town.
Come on, mate. That's good. That's good gold. Give me a good answer. Who runs this part of town? Who's us in charge?
You ever heard the name Heartbane before?
Have I?
You can give me a roll.
History?
Let's call it history.
Oh man.
Old Knell, you may not remember much through your drug-addled mind and the many twists and turns that your life has taken. But the name Heartbane sends a stab of fear into your heart. That's a name that you've heard, and just hearing it again is bringing back some of those lost memories of your past. And this guy is no good. He's a true crime kingpin, with echoes of his name passing through the Underdark.
Old Knell is going to do his honest best to hide that reaction, and is going to say, yeah, I heard it. Does his grip go through all the city, or am I going to run into some smaller meat along the way?
Little bit of A, little bit of B.
Gotcha. All right. Next question. What happened to that meteor that came down around here?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was something funny, all right. Saw 3 people walk into an abandoned building near here. 4 people came walking out. Mighty strange.
It's got a bad case of going around, actually. You know where those 4 people are right now?
Not a clue. I saw them running down some alleyways with them, trying to shake off anyone who was following them. They did a good job. They got out clean.
Can I insight that?
Sure. Yeah, you got the sense that he's being honest with you. That gold was good.
Which direction were they heading?
Now, you paid me for a couple questions. I gave you a couple answers.
I'll pop out another gold coin, but I'm not going to hand it over just yet. And I'll say, trust me now, mate. You're, actually, you know what? Okay, no, I want to pop out another gold coin, toss it to him, and just say, right, which direction they going?
They headed up, as far as my people saw. They're heading up north through the alleys and broke west. That's when we lost them.
West towards the trade docks.
That general direction, yeah. That's a long way to the trade docks. Could have stopped anywhere in between here and there. Like I said, lost sight of them, the crowds and whatnot. Lots of people hanging out in the alleys tonight, what with the harvest and all that going on.
Can you give me a description of the 4 people that you saw?
Oh, yeah, sure. The new guy is a handsome bloke, human, I think. Had kind of nice, long, wavy hair, goatee. Looked pretty fashionable, minus the crappy clothes he was in. And then there was, another human lady, long dark hair. Who else was there? Oh, yeah, can't forget that dragonborn. Looked kind of sapphire colored, real pretty. Looked like he was probably a tough guy. And didn't get a real good look at the 4th one.
All right, last question, and then you have yourself a good night. What can you tell me about the Lock and Key Inn?
Oh, that's a fine upstanding establishment.
Fine and upstanding for all folk.
Oh, yeah.
Is it hot bean territory?
It's, well, let's just say you don't want to go messing with nobody there.
Right. Have a good night, mate.
You too, mate.
And catching up with Deacon, old Knell is just going to suggest we go see if they manage to stop the cart or if we have to keep heading out of Nordgard.
Eventually, they would have managed to get the mule team to stop.
I had mentioned, because I didn't want to disturb the conversation, that once it realized things are going poorly, even I'm going to try to get managing of the horses.
Yeah. So you guys together do manage to get them to come to a stop. It's not too far down the road, but far enough that it's a little inconvenient.
I'm gonna look at old Knell and say, "You find out what you wanted to know."
I'm going to tell you most everything about what he said about the party that came out, like the people that they saw coming, the direction that they went, their appearances. I'm not going to tell you about Heartbane or the Lock and Key Inn or any of like the thiefy who controls what area stuff.
Well, seems like money well spent then, man. I guess we better go get these fools.
And yeah, we'll catch up to the party. And then I'm giving everybody that information except about like the Heartbane and the roguey stuff. But putting the description to Tempest, does he recognize any of those four characters? Like the three that I can describe, I guess.
Well, he would guess that the one with the ill-fitting, not so nice clothing kind of didn't match his look is probably the god, but based on the description, he's not sure who it would be.
Handsome human male.
Yeah, could be a whole host of gods.
Okay, what does everybody else want to do right now?
All right, so it is very early in the morning by now, right? Like 2 a.m.?
Probably closer to 3 or 4 a.m., yeah.
And we're probably coming up on, like, we're starting to get exhausted.
There'll be checks in about 4 hours.
So Tia's curious about how you knew to talk to that guy and why. Yeah.
Well, you know how like you know other fairy princesses on site because you just have a inherent connection having lived the same kind of life.
She'll laugh at him, but thank him for answering.
All right. So you guys make your way back through town to the Lock and Key Inn.
Yep.
We're going to get about halfway before old Knell breaks down and says, okay, look, I got a little bit of extra information from the guy that, honestly, I'm telling you might put you all in extra danger. So, I don't know. Do you really want to keep running with an old mess up like me?
You planning to treat us fairly?
I think I've done nothing but so far.
Yeah, I'm asking about the future.
I just wanted to do some good. I didn't want to kill a god.
You seem like you have good intentions, my friend.
Well,
I think I'll stick around.
Well, then I suppose it's a good thing you didn't, isn't it?
Oh, come on, lad. We're all in this together. All right. So part of what that bloke in the alleyway was telling me was who's in charge of what around here, and don't suppose any of you ever heard of the name Heartsbane?
Everybody can give me history checks to see.
I cannot imagine I have, but I will do it.
Holy jeez.
No, nobody's heard of Heartsbane.
All right. Just like how folks that live in the shadows and outside the law, they kind of have their own language and their own tools, and they just sort of go about their business, game recognizing game. Heartsbane is a leader amongst those that live in the shadows, and they have a nasty reputation. I told you that people that look like me, dark elves, they already come from like a bit of a background and have like a nasty reputation for being bad folk. Heartsbane is like the mold that they're based on. They're incredibly old and ancient and do terrible things to anyone who crosses them, and I have reason to believe that they are the ones that run this inn. I don't know why the people there treated us the way that they treated them because of me, but I don't know why that would be, and I am terrified of going back there.
Do anybody leave anything behind when we left there? Like, Tia doesn't have much, so she takes it with her.
Yeah, I would have taken all my stuff.
Same for me.
So we want to find someplace else to stay then? And
I do.
why did they recommend it then? Like, the council recommended it.
Probably because a member of the council is compromised in some way by this crime lord. I don't know. I'd have to talk to that elf Sheila before I could hazard a guess. I do have a suggestion where we could go.
Where would you suggest we go?
Do you remember back when we went to that posh island area with all of the manors and such?
Yeah?
Do you remember how there was that one building what looked abandoned? That spooky old tower?
Yeah?
If my old nose knows anything, it's that whole tower just screamed wizard, but it didn't look like anybody had been living in it for decades. I'd wager that...
There might be wizard stuff there?
Exactly, and it looks like there might not be people. So if we can get past any locks or traps that might be there, we'd have a base where no one would think to look for us and maybe some goodies on the inside.
That sounds pretty good to me.
Okay, you guys want to travel to the old abandoned-looking tower?
Yeah.
You got it.
We're heading to an old abandoned-looking tower, Sparky.
Okay. Suddenly his eyes light up with a little bit of life, like somebody's there.
So yeah, while you were gone, one of us committed murder.
It was a team murder.
You murdered a team?
No, just a god. You and I were in the cart.
Those who murder together, stick together.
All right, so you guys make your way to the tower. It's now almost 6 a.m. Still dark, although you're starting to see a peak of a glow on the horizon. And you come up to the tower and see the gates and not much else.
Approach the gates looking for a lock or a trap.
Investigation roll, please. It is locked.
Jodi, it sounded like you were about to speak.
I was just going to ask if I could help.
Why don't you go ahead and roll your own investigation roll?
Yeah, it's still locked. No traps.
I don't know how to do this. Does anybody else know how to get in locks? Quietly, probably?
Yeah. Everybody just go ahead and turn around from the gate, and old Knell is going to pop out some thieves' tools from his backpack and go to work.
I'm just going to chuckle, shake my head, and turn around.
That'll do it.
You pop open the lock.
So, describe the courtyard for us a little bit. Looks like there's a graveyard.
Sure thing, yeah. To the north, there is a graveyard with several gravestones there and some stone statues. To the east, northeast, I guess, there's a large stone archway. And then to further east, you can see there's a tower that's looks like it's a small tower embedded into a larger tower that goes up a couple of floors. And to the south, there's another tower.
Well, don't step through the archway until you know what it's for.
Sorry, to the northeast, there's sort of like a smaller tower built into the larger tower, and to the south, there's its own separate tower?
Yes, although it's quite squat. Like it looks like it's only one story.
What do you say we break into the small one, rest up for the evening, and then consider our new environs once we've had a chance to take a snooze?
I like that idea. Can I see if there's any traps on this door?
You can investigate.
I would like to help because her investigation is better than mine.
Okay, I'll roll a second time then. Didn't help a ton.
You don't see any traps.
Is the door locked again?
No.
Old Nell's going to tell Tia to back up, and he'll try popping the door open. Everybody, do you want to sort of get into the courtyard where you'd like to be? I'd assume that we'd roll the wagon in and close the gate behind us, just that the mules and the wagon were inside.
All right. I can't see anything. Are those lights still going on?
No, there's no lights.
I have dark vision. Sorry about that. I've been less concerned with light spells.
I will cast light on a pebble and hand it over.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's 20 bright, 40 dim, right?
That is correct. Yeah, 20 bright, 40 dim.
Any particular color you want the light?
Purple.
Something that won't be glaringly obvious necessarily. So not like a white, a gray or a purple or a darkish color.
Oh yeah, the
And
very
look,
white light.
a sibling for you, and a sibling for you, and a sibling for you.
Don't rush me.
So, Old Knell, as you come up to that door as well, you can see around the corner of the tower, there is a big wagon there.
Does it appear like it's been used in modern memory?
Give me an investigation check.
Ah.
Or perception.
That's pretty good. 16.
It looks all covered in cobwebs and broken down. Nobody's used it.
I think we'll park our wagon beside it then, since that's sort of a natural place for it. And then, same plan. Once everybody's where they want to be, crack open this door.
Okay.
Didn't want us all in a line, you guys, so I moved slightly differently there.
Inside, you find that there's just a small flat space and then a spiral staircase going down.
Ooh, down.
Nothing bad ever happens down.
Do we want to check out the other tower before going down, or are we headed down?
Does everybody feel up to a adventuring if we find a trap or a fight? I was hoping this would be a place to rest, but don't feel very secure, honestly.
No, stairs are not usually good for that.
And just to confirm, Tempest is still with us, right?
He could be, yeah, or he could be in the cart, wherever
He
kind of doesn't want to leave Yondala's corpse in the cart alone.
I don't think we want to leave it there either. I think we would want to keep it with us. We don't want to be seen with that corpse.
Okay, so maybe move Yondala's body, Tempest, and the 2 mules into this tower, and then we'll try scouting down the steps just to see that it's safe down there, that there's not a creepy crawly that's going to come up while we're all asleep.
Sounds good to me.
We investigate the stairs.
Are we investigating for traps?
Yes, please, if you want to go first and check.
Are you helping?
Yes, I will.
Sorry, they're coming through kind of slow. I did it right after he said that.
You don't see any signs of traps on the stairs.
How often would you like us to check on the stairs, Ryan, or is that good for all of the stairs?
One check is good.
Wonderful.
And so you guys make your way down the stairs, and you find yourself in a room where the floor is covered in water, and the northwest wall has collapsed into a pile of stones, and there is a door in the northeast corner.
Which I will check for traps.
Do we pin the door and secure it so that it doesn't be opened, and then do a camping upstairs?
You don't find any traps.
And it's not locked either.
No.
Is the lock usable, or is it like rusted shut?
It's there just is no lock.
Oh, okay.
So, did you
answering
Ulnan's
question, I think Old Knell would just say, let's just peek one more door.
Fair enough.
Oh, I don't have light down here.
Oh, sorry. 1 second. Please hold.
Just one more door. What's gonna hurt?
Yeah, you can all roll initiative.
Yeah. Oh, I can't roll for crap tonight.
You beat me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, guys,
go, Old Knell, go.
I just switched over to my phone. I just wanted to make sure you could hear me still.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hear you loud and clear. Let me get your character sheet open.
Thanks, buddy. I don't have to go quite yet, but I'm anticipating a text very soon.
All right, Old Knell. You're walking through ankle-deep water in these chambers, and it's kind of echoey and all run down. I think this is a surprise round, though, so I don't think you actually get to do anything at this point.
Okay.
Ulnan, does a 16 hit?
It does.
You take 7 damage. Are you wearing non-magical metal armor?
I am wearing leather armor.
All right. I don't think that is affected by the acid. So that's good.
Whoa. That's me already?
That's you.
Oh, I have like such a low... No, it's not me. It's everybody. Oh, but it is me. Okay, sorry.
So Sparky, you are in the other room, and you hear some sloshing sounds, and Ulnan makes whatever sounds he makes when he gets attacked by an acid monster.
Okay. Well, I'll take one step into the room. Oh, it's not in the room yet. 2 steps, I guess. Why can't I see? Oh, because the light's coming from Mark.
Yep, he's the only one with a light source down here.
I'm just gonna go back to here. What can I see? I can see Ulnan, and who's this below him?
Old Knell.
Old Knell. Oh yeah.
And you know Tia's in that room somewhere.
Yeah. And can I see what's attacking?
Nope.
All right. Can I intuit from Ulnan's expression where the attack is coming from?
Well, you can definitely get in there and take a swing. It will be at disadvantage.
Okay, but like I need to know where I'm to move my token. Right there? Okay.
That'll put you beside it.
Okay. And you know what? I can see a piece of him now.
Okay.
Is it not at a disadvantage now?
No, it's still mostly in the dark.
Okay. Can't fault me for trying. All right.
That is a hit.
With the sorry, let me just flip a coin or something. Odds, it's two-handed. Even, it's one-handed.
But sorry to be that guy. Did you roll at disadvantage?
Oh, good point. Thanks for being that guy.
I'm sorry. I mean, odds are better. Your roll is going to be better, but see, what are you mad about?
Yeah, and you know
Still
what?
a hit.
11. Does 11 hit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So, yeah, I tried to roll. It didn't work. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Oh no, I did. It rolled before it was a 2. So, that was the one-handed, I believe.
Okay. So you do 12 damage.
Yeah.
Is that a non-magical weapon made of metal?
It is.
It now has a permanent -1 penalty to damage rolls.
That sounds good.
Anything else on your turn?
I was just looking to see what I have for. Can I see Tia?
She's in the dark.
See something. Let me just see what the requirement is. It just says if I can ward. I'm just looking at Sanctuary, and it just says you can ward a creature within range against attack until the spell ends. Any creature who's targeted is warded. It doesn't say anything about being seen, so I could
Okay.
do the Sanctuary, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she is within 30 feet.
Sounds good.
Anything else on your turn?
No, I think that's it.
Would Tia know she was warded?
Yeah, I guess I didn't think to tell you, but there is a verbal component of it.
Yeah, you would have seen him cast a spell at you, and there's got to be some kind of visual effect from it, I would think.
Okay. That's what I'm like. Do I know? Do I not know?
Yeah, I pull out a small silver mirror. Wait a minute, I don't have the components.
If you have spell components, you have all the base ones.
Yeah. Oh, mind you, he never did get spell components from anywhere, did he?
No.
His inventory is quite limited.
He holds up his hand, and the finger that he degloved and peeled off
Yeah.
reflects light and is therefore a small silver mirror.
We'll let it go this time.
My fingernail is a small silver mirror.
Old Knell, a dirty 20.
Your filthy 20 hits.
And that's 13 damage. Are you wearing metal armor?
I'm barely wearing clothes and am quite unconscious.
Okay. Tia. Your turn. You just saw this ooze monster come up from the water and attack Old Knell, and he's down.
So there's 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's alarming. And she knows she's got Sanctuary currently, right?
Yep.
What to do, you guys?
Only you can know.
I mean, this is your first chance to show off spellcasting because you haven't cast in a single encounter yet.
So I'm going to move to there. And would it like to try and take an attack of opportunity?
I believe so, yes.
I hope that wasn't a foolish plan.
It fails.
And it can't reach anybody else to take another attack, right?
Nope.
And we have a badly injured one up there?
Yep.
Magic missile. Oh, let me say, actually, yeah, I think magic missile.
Okay. So that's 3 missiles at 3 damage each.
+1, so it should be 4 damage each.
It included the +1 already. I rolled a 2.
Oh, excuse me, my mistake.
Ryan, just when that attack of opportunity happened, which missed, of course, but so it doesn't really matter. But just remember, she has a wisdom save.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was rolling the wisdom save to see whether it could attack me.
No, I rolled an attack roll. It failed. I should have rolled the wisdom save first, though. You're right.
And it would have failed too,
Yeah. All right, anything else, Win? Tia? Sorry, I've got the token's called Win, so I'm looking
That's
at
fair.
that. My brain's
That's
not
fair.
working.
I don't think there's anything else she can do right now. Can I move a little further, though?
Sure.
Okay.
All right, old Knell. Death saves again.
Good job.
Success. All right, Deacon.
All right, I will move to there. Do I have a clear shot at this one that's near death up here by Ulnan?
He'll have partial cover from Sparky being in the way.
And if I move to there, would it be the same?
Yeah.
You'd also be engaged
All
in
right.
melee with the other one if you moved up.
Yeah. So I will stay there then, since it makes a little difference, and I'll take my first shot at this guy.
Okay.
Wah wah.
That hits, even with the +2 for cover.
Good job.
Oh wow.
Yeah, their AC is terrible.
5 piercing damage. Does that take him out?
Oh, I forgot to check if they've got damage resistances or anything. Yep, they're not affected by, or there's no resistance to piercing, so it's fine.
Okay, I will make my bonus action attack at the other one.
Okay, this one doesn't have cover. So that's really a hit. All right, anything else?
That'll be all.
All right, Ulnan, you're up. That hits. Anything else?
Is anybody else hearing him?
No.
Oh, okay.
You guys didn't hear Mike?
Nope.
No.
I am not being heard.
Now you are.
Oh, yeah, I'm done.
Okay. All right,
it's
Sparky.
that guy. All right. Is it just me, or am I only hearing my hype track?
I took old Knell's off, and I forgot to take yours off, but I'm going to do that right now.
Oh, okay.
And I have a thing, but I couldn't figure out how to record it yet.
No worries. It's acting weird anyway. I don't know if I'm going to use them because it keeps playing through all of them anytime one gets used. So I've got to look into it more.
Yeah, maybe it needs just an update or something.
I just updated everything not that long ago.
All right, I will shoot. See, he's unconscious, but is it just like he's stable, right?
Nope.
Oh, okay. So he's doing death saves?
Yep.
Okay.
But he's made his first 2.
Okay. Can I? Sorry, I'm getting Baldur's Gate all confused. I can't help him to stabilize him, right?
You can do a medicine check to help him stabilize.
All right, I took that. How's that?
That's good enough. Old Knell is stable.
And he's not like face down in the water or anything, is he?
You would make sure that he's not when you stabilize him.
Okay. That's basically my turn then, right?
Yep, unless you want to move.
No.
Okay, guys, I am on my way to pick up my daughter, but I am listening.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Mark, he didn't like getting shot by you.
Yeah, these things happen.
21, I assume, hits.
Yeah, I have a 17.
You take 8 damage, and are you wearing metal armor?
I am wearing a chain shirt.
It is now permanently -1 armor class.
Lovely. It's like acid rust monsters.
Yeah. There we go. I updated the chain shirt in your foundry inventory. So your AC is now 16.
Strictly speaking, at present it should be 14 because he's got 2 crossbows out and can't use his shield.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. Your AC is 14. Tia, your turn.
So, pardon me, I think I will just magic missile right from where I am.
Okie doke.
Yay!
It is dead. Anything else on your turn?
I will move in because we've got some less than healthy people.
As soon as we're out of combat, I'm doing that for Ulnan.
Yeah, we'll drop out of combat for now.
Okay, then I was just going to try and help. Yeah.
So Ulnan
stabilize.
heals Old Knell for 11.
That tops me up and then some.
I'm also looking fairly beat up, but
Yeah. What would you guys like to do?
Let's take a short rest and then crack open one more door.
can we take our short rest? Let's try at least.
Yeah, let's go upstairs for that.
Tia,
Uh,
you showed very good decision-making process during that fight. This shows promise.
Good. Thanks. Promise. I got it. We have to sit down and have a chat. Maybe during this rest.
So are you guys just having a short rest or a long rest?
Short rest, short rest.
I'd like 2 short rests back to back, but we're going to start suffering from exhaustion soon.
Yeah, you're gonna roll an exhaustion roll after a short rest.
I'm kind
Yeah.
of thinking a long rest would be a good
Long
plan.
rest, yeah.
Boo.
Yeah, let's long rest it.
All right. You guys head upstairs and have a nice long rest. Nothing interrupts the long rest, and you guys are going to level up. So I think this is a good natural spot to end the session for today.